Well,
or that was the foxhole one.
That was the foxhole
Yeah.
one.
This Amateur Radio Roundtable is brought to you in part by ICOM America.
Welcome. Hello, I'm Tom Medlin, W5KUB, and you are watching Amateur Radio Roundtable. It's at 8 o'clock p.m. Central on W5KUB.com.
Alright, guys. As you can tell, my voice is still not working very well tonight. It's getting pretty old. I've had this a number of weeks now. But I got another doctor appointment this week, and we're going to get it fixed. You're watching Amateur Radio Roundtable. I'm Tom Medlin, W5KUB, and we meet every Tuesday night here on W5KUB.com, 8 o'clock p.m. Hope you are enjoying the shows. We've got about 580 shows recorded. If you've missed one, you can always catch it in the recording. We are also simulcasting our audio on famous international shortwave station, WBCQ, on 5130 kilohertz. So you might hear us on shortwave. If you're listening on shortwave tonight, you can join us if you have internet. You can join us tonight by going to W5KUB.com and watching the show. I'm hearing noise. I don't know what's going on tonight, but we'll try to keep continuing here. If you're out there listening on WBCQ, send us an email to tom@w5kub.com. tom@w5kub.com. Skype has really been giving us a fit tonight. When I opened it up for the show, somehow it reinstalled it. It reinstalled it, and we were getting all kinds of funny things on here. It looks like it's working now. I'm hearing some audio issues. We'll work on that later. Tonight we got a good show. We got Martin F. Jew, founder of MFJ, with us. We got Pat Shelton, K7 LMP, with us. Pat's going to be talking about 50 megahertz or 6 meter transverters. I think he's going to be talking about some SDR transceivers. And we also got the master, I've read this on the internet, the master of high balloons, Bill Brown, WB8ELK. I'm thinking about giving him a different title, maybe Godfather of high altitude balloons. I don't know. I think he's launched either 400 or 500 balloons in his career, and we've been watching some of them here lately. He's going to talk about them tonight, and he's going to tell us when we might get our balloon launched there. So let's see. Let's go around the room here real quick, and let me jump in here first with Martin, and let's see how Martin's doing tonight. Martin, how you doing tonight, man?
Oh, I'm doing great, Tom. I spent the afternoon driving back from Memphis, 3.5-hour drive. Sun was shining in the 70s. Nice day. Doing great tonight. I guess you're still there, Tom.
I am. I had the mic turned down. Sorry. Technical problem. I take blame for that. But yeah, I'm glad you're with us tonight. I know you had an eye appointment today, and you're going to be having some work done on the eyes. Boy, I tell you, I don't know how you can do that. My wife had some stuff done to her eyes, but I just can't. I just can't fathom somebody sticking around in my eye. Martin, does that bother you?
Well, no, I'm going to be out, and when I wake up, I'll be feeling kind of happy from
Huh.
being out.
Well, I'll just wish you good luck there, and like I said,
Yeah.
Kathy had hers done, and it was fine, and no problems. But I'm gonna have to get a lot more courage before I do anything like that. Well, Martin doesn't have a segment tonight, but he's just going to jump in here and help us co-host the show tonight. And maybe a little later in the show, we'll just open up some phone lines here. So let's jump down now. Let's see. Let's say hi to Pat and see how Pat's doing. Let me see if I can work
Hey, good
this.
evening.
There you
Good
go.
evening, Tom. How are
How
you?
you doing there, Pat?
Doing good. Doing good. It's a very cold, rainy, going to be changing to snow night in Salt Lake City. But we had summer for the past few days, and now winter is back again. Hopefully, we'll get out of town pretty quick. But doing good. Doing real good.
Well, it's just about 80 degrees here today and the sun's shining, but it
Oh
seems
man.
like every 2 or 3 days we get a major thunderstorm come through here. This past couple days, we had a major one come through, and a lot of high winds and lightning and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
So,
yeah. Yeah, I don't want that, but I'm just sick of winter. It needs to move on.
okay, well, you know what? Let me do one thing, guys. I'm so sorry. All the troubles tonight caused us some issues. Somebody said he's hearing music on WBCQ 5130. I forgot to turn on the link from here to the radio station. I just turned it on, so maybe that music will go away, and maybe our show will come up on it. Again, you're listening to W5KUB.com, Amateur Radio Roundtable. Well, Pat, interested in hearing what you've got to say tonight. Let us jump down real quick, and let's just get right into it with Bill here. So stand by, and we'll be back with you in a few minutes here. All right. So, hey, Bill, how you doing, man?
Hey, doing great. Talking about weather, we've had incredible thunderstorms, a couple of tornadoes here and there, and tons of rain. And this is great weather for flying kites and maybe reproducing the Ben Franklin kite and key experiment with lightning. But it's certainly not been real good weather to launch these Pico balloons. So your Sky Tracker is still sitting here.
All right. Well, man, every day I think we're going to get an opening for a couple of days, and then a major storm comes through here. Hey, Bill, if you will.
Ready to fly.
Bill,
Ready to fly, but right now I'm just waiting for a break in the weather long enough that we can fly without hitting thunderstorms on the way up.
Okay.
So,
hey, Bill, if
there'd
you
be an opportunity of going in the morning. I'm just going to have to take a look at it. If not, we'll have to wait a few days.
Yeah. Hey, Bill, do me a favor. Back up just a little bit from the camera. I see a cricket or something crawling through your mustache.
A cricket?
Well, I wasn't sure what it was, but no, I was just kidding. I'm just kidding with you. You were kind of close to the camera there, so yeah, that's much better right there. Yeah. Well, look, hey, we're really excited about this balloon, and we're shooting for, our goal is to make at least one circumnavigation of the Earth, and I know you're doing all you can to pick the right weather. I'm sure there's been some weather that we thought might have been good, but you're the expert, and you have held back in launching. So my understanding is if this thing gets any rain on it, it comes down. Is that correct?
Yeah, particularly during the ascent stage until it gets to float altitude. That's the riskiest point. We do have, there are two Pico balloons currently flying around the world. One is one of my trackers that a middle school in Baxter, Minnesota, Forest View Middle School, their STEM class, launched a balloon on March 23rd, and 14 days later it went completely around the world, and in fact passed over their location just to their north, about 200 miles north of their launch site. 14 days later, it went at times going well over 100 knots during the flight. So then I have a friend, VE3KCL, and he has put together his own tracker using some modules from QRP Labs. His is on whisper mode, and the one that flew with Minnesota was an APRS tracker. And he has been around the world almost, I'd like to say he's on his third lap now. So I have those tracks I can show you.
Yeah.
Those two balloons flying. I can share the screen and see if you can see it. If you'd like
yeah. Let's take a look at them. And I've been watching the KD0 balloon. I don't know if that's the one you're going to show, but I've been watching it, and as you said, I've been looking at it. I think in miles an hour. It looks like it's been traveling maybe 100 miles an hour times, but the last reports I saw, it was only traveling about 45 miles an hour. So it's slowed down a little bit.
Can you see that screen now?
No, we're not seeing it yet.
Okay, thought I hit share.
So hit share again.
You're still seeing me?
Yeah, I'm still seeing you.
Okay, let me hit the share screen. I didn't hit the start sharing button. Sorry about that. Okay, now it should bring that up.
Well, we're there. It is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the one I've been following. Well, I've been following.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
so,
all I see is a
the
black
light
screen.
in blue.
So can you?
Can you see that? Okay, Tom?
Yeah, we're seeing it. Okay.
Okay.
I'm only seeing
The
black
light
screen.
in blue.
Are you seeing it, Bill?
I see it in the screen when you bring it up. I see it.
Yeah, I see it. How about you, Pat? Are you seeing the track of the balloons?
Yeah, I am, for sure. Yep.
Okay. And Martin,
Okay.
You said you're not seeing it?
The only thing I see is black screen.
Well, it's nighttime where you're looking at, Martin, so you're just going to have to stand by.
All right.
Well, Bill, go ahead and tell us about this one here and kind of the make and model of it. I guess this is a sushi balloon because it stayed up, longer than I think the party balloons do. Tell us all about it.
The KD0 VJI-4 balloon that you see there was launched on March 23rd from the middle of Minnesota, from Baxter, Minnesota. It's running one of my APRS version of the Sky Tracker, which weighs about 12 grams. And they were flying SBS-13 balloon, which is basically a 3 foot by 7.5 foot sushi wrap plastic made by Scientific Balloon Solutions. Ron, K6RPT, and his son Lee are the owners of that company, and they supply this special balloon for the Pico ballooning crowd that wants to fly very long duration flights. And they fly around 41,000 to 43,000 feet, which stays above most of the bad weather. And if you look at the blue track, KD0 VJI-4 has been around the world once and is well on its way into its second lap. It just was received by the Azore Islands earlier today and should show up over Morocco early this morning. So later tonight, it should pop up again if it's close enough to southern Spain. There aren't any APRS stations in Morocco, but if it's far enough north, it may show up, hit a few stations in Gibraltar or Spain or Portugal. If it doesn't get close enough, it'll probably take another day to show up over Italy. Now, the flight path that you see in red, he's been around, that's Dave VE3KCL, and he's flying a whisper balloon that uses modules from QRP Labs. And he is flying a little Chinese balloon that actually cost about $1. But the problem with that balloon is it's you have to check for the quality control is not real good on them. So if you buy a batch of those balloons, you have to check them for holes and you have to pressure test them before you fly them. He's actually flying 2 of those on top of each other and flying at 11,000 meters. And you'll see the KD0BJI is flying at 12,500. He's also above most of the weather and currently just north of Hawaii. And let's see here. So he's on his 1, 2, 3. I think he's on his 4th lap. So it takes this time of year. It takes on average about 14 days to go around the world. The Minnesota balloon took exactly 14 days to go completely around. As you can see, they just went on the first lap. They went just north of Minnesota to complete that lap just a couple of days ago. So that's the updates. We hope to have W5KUB-1 in the air, hopefully within a week. Waiting for just the right wind conditions so that we have a good ascent without hitting storm and have a good flight around the world. So we're as we get more into April, we'll have better flight conditions. But right now we've had so many rainstorms and thunderstorms that it's not conducive for a very good flight at the moment. So
Yeah,
that's
you
my
know-
update.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you.
Go ahead, Mark.
Yes.
Do you build the electronics yourself?
Yes, I do.
What do you
It's
think?
a board that I designed the board in Eagle CAD, which is a popular PC board layout tool. I get the boards produced in from a board house in China, just the blank PC boards. They're ultra thin. They're about 1/3 normal thickness of a PC board. And I'm going to go back to live view here.
Bill, I've got it up. I got the picture up right here. That's your Sky Tracker.
Oh, okay. A good deal. So, anyways, the board is about 1/3 the normal thickness. And so I send my my PC board Gerber files to this company in China, and about a week later I get beautifully made PC boards back. There's an example of one of the PC boards right there that are blank. And then I hand solder them. I have a couple people helping me solder them that are expert solder folks. And
Would you be interested in making the completed boards available to others that might want to fly balloons?
I would say right now, as long as they're assembled, because there's too many small surface mount parts to make a kit out of it.
Yeah, no, we have the stuff to assemble it.
Yeah, I've
Surface
kind of
mount
figured
parts.
you would.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that. Yeah.
Okay.
So here it is with your solar cells on it,
Mm.
and you use a little tube or something or a stick across there that you put those solar cells on.
Actually, that's a little brass tube that actually supports the solar panels and is the ground return for the cells. So it does double duty. It's a little lightweight brass tube that I get from a specialty company in Great Britain.
So Martin, this whole tracker assembly here, the GPS, Whisper, APRS, solar cells, it all weighs 12 grams or less. That's less than what, Bill? 2 nickels?
Well, 2/4.
2/4. Okay.
Yeah,
2/4.
That's pretty incredible.
So
Yeah, 2 nickels would be 10 grams.
okay. So
How many balloons are flying at one time?
I'm just showing the 2 that we're flying with it long duration, but as far as Pico balloons, there's probably 4 or 5 flying at any given day. And then the latex balloons, the bigger weather balloons, they're all over the world. I can try bringing up the map to show just if I don't specify the call signs, I can show you all the people that were flying in the last 3 days here. Okay, here's the last 3 days. And I could try sharing that map again.
So do they fly higher or stay up longer?
Well, the standard weather balloons, they fly up to 100,000 feet or so. The Pico balloons, the little tiny payloads that weigh under half an ounce, those are designed for party balloons. And so they fly roughly in the jet stream or slightly above the jet stream.
You know, I was
the latex balloon, big weather balloons, can carry 12 pounds. And I'm going to share the map here, show you all the ones that are flying currently in the past 3 days. And you'll see this website, by the way, is called tracker.habhub.org. HabHub stands for High Altitude Balloon Hub.
We don't have anything yet.
Sponsored by the UK.
Bill, I'm not seeing.
Did you get anything yet?
No, it's just a black screen. Now there it is. Yeah, I see.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so those are all the ones that have flown over the United States in the past 3 days. And if I scan over, the European fly a lot of payloads over Europe. They're very active, particularly the United Kingdom, where this website is based. And then there's hardly anything, there's really nothing over Asia. But Australia has a very active program. And also Argentina. There's nothing flying from Argentina right now, but the AMSAT -LU, the AMSAT Argentina group, flies a lot of balloons. So that's pretty much.
Do they, Bill? Do they stay mainly around the center of the U.S., like the equator, or do some fly below in the southern hemisphere?
Well, the ones that go around the world generally tend to stay within. If you launch them from, say, Alabama, they'll stay within above the equator, and they can go clear up to Iceland or to the North Pole, particularly during the late spring and summer months when the jet stream starts breaking up and doing weird things. But I had one that into the southern hemisphere and finally land in the Ivory Coast of Africa. And I have the coordinates if you'd like to go get it. Might be a little dangerous though. And one of the Australian fellows, VK3YT, he launched one from southeast. It actually went up into the northern hemisphere, across Cuba and Puerto Rico, and then went back in the southern hemisphere. So, and went back across Africa. So it's very rare for them to cross the equator, but it can happen.
So
generally, always love to go across South and North Korea and Japan and China. They always go across the South Korea and China and Eastern China. They love to fly across there for some reason.
You know, I was watching this balloon, and I thought it was going to go across Korea. And I know the transmitter cannot transmit over North Korea, but I spent a year in Korea, and I have a friend here that worked for me that does government contract work, and he's taking a government contract position on my air base in South Korea. So he's over there right now. So I want to be able to send him an email and say, Steve, I've got a balloon up, and it's going to be coming over your head here in maybe a week or so. So I want you to program this thing to
Well,
go over. I want you to program it to go over South Korea
I
now.
actually have, yeah, I will try to do that.
Now,
I
the one I was.
actually have encouraged a lot of hams in New Delhi, India, to get on APRS, specifically to watch balloons. And so when they do cross northern India, my friends in New Delhi love to listen for the balloons. So in areas where there's not any APRS or whisper activity, you can generate it if you talk to the right folks. So we fired up a little hotbed of whisper and APRS activity in northern India, and I've made quite a few Facebook friends there too.
Now this balloon I've been watching when it almost, I thought it was going to go over North Korea. Obviously it must have lost APRS because I didn't see a report for a while, and the actual track, it looked like to me it went north of North Korea, maybe through China, but I may be wrong.
It actually crossed North Korea, but we have an algorithm that draws a box around North Korea to make sure it doesn't transmit.
Okay, so it did make it over North Korea. Okay, well, very good. Now that I noticed when I was watching it, it looked like it was stuck in a place like for a whole day, and I thought, well, this is probably APRS is over the ocean. We're not going to get a report where it is. So the next morning, it basically made it across the ocean, and I started seeing reports again. So I guess it just fills in the line from the last place it sent a report, right?
Now here's another one from Sweden, SA6BSS, and he flies Pico balloons as well of his own design, and he's flying at 10,500 meters. He's actually flying this one. It's got, I believe, APRS. I'm not sure of that. I know it's got RigPi on it, teletype.
Is that right?
Yeah, this one. He says teletype on 144.600. And I sent some to a couple trackers to Holland, to the Netherlands, and they wanted teletype as an option for the second transmission. So I had it doing 100 baud teletype because that's a popular mode for high altitude balloons in Europe.
So Bill, I see a question in the chat room. How can we watch these? The balloon that we're launching, if you click on balloon up on our menu at the top of the page, if you click on balloon, it's going to bring a map up, or at least give you a link where you can bring these maps up, and you'll be able to follow the show's balloon launch here. Now, hey, let me ask you a couple. I'm sorry.
It's on your web page, right?
Yeah, it'll be on our webpage, or you could just go to, I guess, aprs.fi and just put in W5KUB-1, and you can still see it. We're just going to try to embed. Now, I think there's a problem embedding APRS into a web page. I think they've stopped letting it happen. So, more than likely on our web page, we'll just have a link directly to APRS. But if you go to balloons on our web menu right now, you'll see this balloon being tracked right now, but I was able to embed the HAB hub, the tracker.hab hub, into the page, but I can't do the APRS. So what do you think, Bill? Are we going to be able to do Whisper, or are we going to be doing APRS? I know different ones work better in different launch windows and stuff, or
it's easier to launch the APRS version in winds up to 5 or 10 knots, but a Whisper, I need dead calm for a Whisper balloon. And so far, I haven't seen any days like that here in the past month. But if I get a nice clear day where the winds are around 5 to 10 knots, I'll fly the APRS. And the path that's been the current path that has been going on, you'll still get quite a bit of coverage on APRS. Europe and Russia, Of course, the United States, China, Eastern China, Korea, and Japan are all hotbeds of APRS activity. So you'll see them as there was quite a few reports on this balloon. In fact, I have the chart showing the telemetry graph.
This balloon has been flying
If you click on
this balloon has been flying a pretty steady 40,000, 41,000, almost the entire trip.
Right.
Now, what kind of distance would you get to an APRS node at that altitude?
Well, you'll see it right there. See the blue circle?
Okay. And that's what, let's see, I'm trying to...
400 kilometers.
Okay, so that's 61, what, 240 miles, something like that, 250 miles?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And now down below the chart there, I show, you can see each day's telemetry. The red is the solar panel voltage, and the green is the temperature, and the blue line at the very top is the altitude. So you can actually click on this bar that says telemetry graph and see the telemetry for each day that it's within range of a, and I'm going to do, there's a button here that says high split. I'm going to hit that. And that's the prediction of where it's going to go.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So as you can see, and then you click on one area, this morning, in the wee hours, around 2 in the morning or so, it's going to be over Casablanca. And hopefully it'll be in range of southern Spain as well. But somewhere between Rabat and Casablanca, around, I would say about 2:30 Central Time, it'll start showing up again right about where that, right about there.
Yeah, what is the green circle on the tracker map?
The green circle?
Yeah. I see a blue circle and a green circle.
Oh, yeah, the green circle is just, that is stronger signal strength. That,
Oh, okay.
it really has no bearing. The one that you want to look at is the blue. For really weak transmitters, they use that for if you have like a super low power transmitter in UHF that they like to use in Great Britain. Your range might be limited.
Yeah, okay. So on our launch, we may, you know, and I don't have any real preference, I guess, APRS or Whisper. As long, you know, if you see it stopped on the map, you just got to look the next day and it'll move and fill in. I guess if it doesn't move the next day, it probably went down. Is that right?
Or it's not in range of a ground station for
Yeah.
APRS.
Okay. So our plan, our goal is at least one revolution. We got to be able to pull that off here.
Yeah.
So we're going to try the sushi, I guess. Yeah. And by the way, you can go ahead and eat it. Any sushi that comes in that, you can eat that. And so we use a sushi balloon and then maybe hydrogen. Now you said there's an advantage to using hydrogen because it doesn't leak out of the balloon quite as fast as helium. Is that right?
Yes, and it also is, you also, hang on a minute. Go back live here.
We can get you there now.
The other advantage.
I got you. You're there.
Okay. Yeah, the other advantage is it flies higher.
A slight higher. Now it looks like, you know, I know you said that you really wanted to fly maybe 40,000 or above. That gets over most of the storms. It looks like this thing. I don't know. There's got to be some science that goes into this, the weight versus the buoyancy, and I know the atmosphere gets thinner as the higher you go, and to make that thing stay at 40 or 41,000, it must be really fine-tuned somehow.
Yeah, you have to measure things down to the fraction of a gram to the tenth of a gram when I'm measuring how much lift to put into it. Because if you put too much lift, um, it'll build up too much pressure when it goes up to float altitude when it fills up the bag because it doesn't stretch. Well, it stretches a little bit, but if it stretches too much, it's going to spring a leak and come down. So you can't exceed a certain amount of positive lift, and that's the lift beyond the weight of the payload. So if your payload weighs 13 grams and you put 5 grams extra lift into it, so you're flying 18 grams, you'll probably be successful. But if you put a whole lot more than that, then you'll probably just go up and come right back down.
So
And we had that happen recently in a group from Pella, Iowa, sent their balloon up on a party balloon, but they tried a red-colored balloon instead of the silver, and the red color absorbs a lot more sunlight, and it heated up too much, and it actually popped and came back down and landed about 15 miles north of Mark Garrett, KVA-9SEX's location in Illinois. And so he ran out there, and I gave him an estimated landing spot, did a visual search, saw something that looked unusual out in the soybean field, went out and he got it back.
I've got a picture up. I've got a picture up of the sushi balloon. Can you see that, Bill?
Yeah, I see it.
Now, I think this is your process here of putting just the right amount of helium in, right? You're
right.
measuring the lift right here.
I have a little scale, gram scale. I have a baggie filled with coins and different weights to get it just right when it's lifted off the ground, and then I double check it with my gram scale. So
now, is that
I bought a
about?
whole bunch of these little scales on Amazon, and I'm probably on somebody's watch list with the DEA.
Now, let me ask you a question. This balloon now, is that getting near the proper amount of hydrogen in that balloon to lift it right now?
Yes.
Okay.
It's,
So
it's
there's
gonna be about,
room.
it's only going to be partially filled.
So there's a lot of
Because when
room
it goes up
for expansion.
When it goes up to float altitude, the atmospheric pressure where it floats is about a quarter what it is on the ground in the jet stream.
So will that balloon be totally filled out at 40,000 feet with that amount of
That's
hydrogen?
right, and it probably stretched out a little bit too.
Okay. And there you are there with trying to launch a sushi balloon with a little bit of wind blowing.
Well, actually, that's one that it had a hole in it. I didn't notice the big forklift hole in the box it was shipped in, and it went through the top of the balloon, and I let it go, and it landed about 2 miles away. And I was getting signal reports telling me that it was from 1,000 miles away, that it was only 2 miles from me. But I had a station in Texas and one out picking up the whisper signal. And when I found it, the antenna wire was only 2 feet off the ground. So that's only 25 milliwatts on whisper mode, which is really powerful when you can actually get position reports and telemetry from that distance with such a low signal.
Yeah. Now here's one that you've launched right here. You can see it's not filled completely up. That's for expansion.
Right.
Now, the feet per minute as it goes up, am I correct to say it's somewhere like 40 or 50 feet per minute, or is it more than that?
It's going to be somewhere around, it's 1 meter per second.
Oh, okay.
So 60 meters per minute.
That'd be several hundred feet, probably.
So it's going to be right around 200 feet per minute or below.
200 feet per minute as it goes up. And at some point, I guess it's just going to stabilize. But the amount of lift and hydrogen and the density of the air.
When it fills out, and it's basically the density of the weight of everything, balloon and payload string. and the weight of the helium or hydrogen inside, when that density is equal to the amount of outside air that it displaces, that's where it floats.
Now,
but we've had a lot of schools go up, send things up, and it's a great way of teaching them about STEM projects and space and science, and of course ham radio.
are the solar cells basically glued on, kind of flat, where they aim straight up?
Right. Those are flexible solar panels made by Power Film Solar, and their marketing director is a ham operator, and so that's about 5-volt panels at about 120 milliamp. When I have them in parallel to get a little more current.
Now,
my board only draws about 30 milliamps at 3.3 volts, but when the sun gets low, you need a lot extra to get lower sun angles.
all right. Now, this board is not protected in any way. You don't even put a piece of laundromat plastic over it or anything, do you?
Well, where I'm flying, I'm not flying in any kind of moisture because you're high enough above the storms. If you're collecting enough moisture that could damage the board,
Yeah.
then you're probably going to come down anyways. Now, I did have one board I launched the AMSAT conference in November from near Space Camp in Huntsville, and I just got it back. An airport manager found it underneath of an airplane 3 months later, and so he sent it back to me, and it looks brand new. In fact, I took it outside, and it powered right up and started transmitting. And it's been hanging in a tree for 3 months, and apparently broke free during a storm and scooted underneath of an airplane tie down. So he just sent it back from College Dale Airport in near Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Here's a picture.
Now,
Here's a picture. Is this APRS or is this Whisper?
That's APRS.
Okay.
Problem with flying an APRS balloon around the world is the frequency changes for the national APRS network for ground stations. You see red, United States, Northern Hemisphere is 144.39, but the green is 144.800. China, 144.64. Korea, 144.62. And Japan is 144.66. I don't know why they can't figure out.
So let me ask you a question here. A question
and
here.
It gets even worse in the southern hemisphere.
Based on the tracker intelligence that you've got built in, the little computer, it knows what country it's over, and I guess
Right.
it knows what frequency to switch to. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's frequency agile, so it changes to the local APRS frequency that it happens to be flying over.
Okay, so it'll switch to the correct APRS frequency, and of course, if it gets over North Korea or the other countries where it's restricted, it just turns off. It's
Right.
very smart. Yeah, that is so cool. Pat, we may not get to you tonight, Pat. This is pretty good stuff here, man.
Well, that's fine. No problem.
We may have to do part of yours or do it next week. Well, Martin, what are you thinking about this, Martin?
Oh, I think it's incredible. I never knew there was so much science or so many of these up.
Well, I had to put the right hat on since we were talking about up in the wild blue yonder. I had to put my hat on. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I'm sure glad I'm not riding this thing.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. You go to Dollar Tree and buy a dollar balloon and fly it around the world 15, 20 times.
Well, I think the one you buy at the dollar store, Bill, what's the life on those? Maybe they might fly a couple months.
You may get around the world once with the 36-inch Mylar plastic ones. They can stay up about 3. But this new dollar Chinese balloon, I think that'll stay up a month or more. So, and then of course the ones that are sold by the K6RPT, Scientific Balloon Solutions, one of theirs stayed up 2 years, went around the world 33 times.
Wow.
So
Why do they
yeah.
come down? Is it leakage?
Eventually, it'll slowly leak, but it's pretty impervious to leakage, that particular plastic material. Or a storm. Occasionally, you get a storm that has a really severe thunderstorm will hit it even at 40,000 feet. So if you're unlucky enough to go through one of those, then it may knock it out too.
Now, Bill, I know you're very up to date on this. There's been questions about aircraft hitting it and different things like that. You want to talk a little about the safety features of this thing bringing
the
down your airplane?
FAA has a rule for sounding balloons. The Weather Bureau sends up over 70 of these every day across the nation, in fact, the world, twice a day. And the rule is that they've determined for a safe weight payload is 6 pounds per payload and 12 pounds total, which is far, far, far more weight than what I'm flying with this, because this weighs under half an ounce. So if this were to hit an aircraft, they probably wouldn't even notice it. Considering the FAA allows a 6-pound payload on regular rubber weather balloons, the latex weather balloons.
So this balloon,
these are way under the weight limit.
Yeah, this balloon, of course, is kind of transparent, very, very small payload. You think a pilot in a jet could actually see it? I mean, if he went by it, or would it just be so small and so fast you wouldn't even see it?
I actually had one. I launched from Kansas in the summer, and it went to California, up the West Coast.
Oh, wait, from where?
2 weeks later, it came back to Kansas.
Huh.
Went directly over the launch site 2 weeks later. Then it flew to Huntsville, Alabama, where I live. Flew over my work and my house, and that was 16 days later, 5,000 miles traveled at 33,000 feet, and I could physically see it flashing in the sunlight as it went over my workplace.
Well, all you got to do is figure out how to make it land back at your house,
Then we'd have balloon mail.
Yeah.
That same day delivered.
Man, I tell you, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about our show's balloon launch. Been hyping this up with everybody, and this is going to be cool, man. And what we want to do is have you on every week or two, whatever your schedule permits, and you can be the one that gives us.
I'll be on travel next week, but I think we can probably get yours flying within 2 weeks.
Oh, that'd be great. And any Tuesday night that you're available, we would love to have you on as a little short segment, 5 minutes to talk about where we've been and how high we've been, and are we running low on fuel, or now, hey, what kind of data do we get back from this? Will we get speed, and we get temperature?
Yes, you'll get back
altitude,
temperature, solar panel voltage, and your ground speed and your ground heading, and altitude.
Now, if that's an APRS transmitter,
the number of satellites that are being tracked.
Will we see? If that's APRS, will we see it on the Hab Hub?
You'll see it on Hab Hub, and you'll also see it on APRS.FI.
Okay. They look very similar.
The Hab Hub site, though, is dedicated solely to balloons. I'll repeat it for people that would like to watch balloons flying all over the world. Tracker.habhub, that's Hotel Alpha Bravo, Hotel United Bravo, .org.
And you can also go to our website and click on balloon up there. We've got this balloon that Bill was talking about tonight. That's the one we're tracking right now. Once we get our show's balloon up, we'll change that website to reflect the new map and the new live tracking there.
Yeah, it'll be W5KUB-1.
All right, that sounds real good. Well, Bill, thank you so much for coming on tonight. We've really enjoyed it. It's really interesting. I don't know if there's any more questions in the chat room here. Yeah, every now and then I'd pick one out and we'd talk about it. So, guys, keep following us. Come back each Tuesday night or follow our Facebook group, W5KUB on Facebook, and you'll see updates there also. And if you're not a member, we'd love you to join. We got about 7,000 people in that group now. Thanks a lot, Bill. Looking forward to this, but we're not rushing it. I mean, when I had the idea to launch, I was wanting it to go like the next day. The next day. But I understand the reason of waiting, and it's just like launching a rocket. You got to have good weather, right? You don't want to launch this thing in bad weather.
Great program, Bill.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Bill. Interesting.
And Bill, you're welcome to stick around and show or leave or whatever. I'm not sure what we'll do. It's getting pretty late here. We may not get into all of Pat's, but we're going to talk to Pat for a minute. Thanks a lot, Bill, and let me bring Pat in here.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. There's Pat right there. All right.
I'll be watching.
Okay, well, Pat, we took your time tonight, man.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
I know you had two different things to talk about.
Yeah, we can talk about transverters and kind of our 50 meg and above segment. We can talk about that next week.
Yeah, why don't we plan that for next week? And Pat, so you're not going to make it to Dayton, are you?
No, not this year.
Yeah, okay.
Next year for sure, but not this year.
Yeah, I saw you put a little donation in the kitty. Thank you so much, man. That'll help our trip.
I will try to give you a little more too before.
Well, don't. No, you did fine, man. Don't overdo it. Thank you so much here. Well, my Martin's going to be up there. I think Bill, you're going to be there, right? Did Bill leave us? Maybe he left.
Bill left.
All right, he left. I think he's going to be up here. They usually launch a balloon from outside there at the Dayton Hamvention each year. So we got about 40 days until we head to Xenia, Ohio for the Hamvention up there. This will be our 36th or 37th year to go. Martin, how long you been going up there? Long time?
Yeah, since 75 or so.
Yeah.
However many years that is, that's like 42 years.
Yeah, it's a kind of neat place to go. If you've never been, you already go up there. And guys, we've got a lot of prizes for any of the new people here. We're going to have at least a 40-hour stream. We call it our Hamvention Marathon, and we're going to give away probably about 40 or 50 prizes, thousands of dollars in prizes. MFJ has donated some prizes, so they're out there as a supporter. And let me just say one thing, Martin, close your ears, Martin. Close your eyes and close your ears. This is a fundraiser that we've got going this year. Guys, the Dayton Hamvention trip cost us over $3,000 for us to webcast. That might sound high, but it's not. That's what it cost us, the number of people we take in the hotel rooms and so forth. So we've set aside one prize here as a fundraiser to help support our expenses of putting this webcast on. Now, when we put the webcast on, I think you guys that have watched us in the past know it's strictly all business. We jump around, we run, we sweat, we try to keep it going. I don't buy or sell anything there. In fact, many times a year, I don't even have time to walk around and look and see everything. We hope Martin gets by. He's going to get by our booth. What's Martin's holding up there? Martin's holding up something, but he's not on the air here. We'll see that in a minute, Martin. So let me get back to it, guys. This is a Comet. This is a Comet CAA 500 antenna analyzer. I will say that MFJ makes a fine antenna analyzer too. But this antenna analyzer here goes up to 500 megahertz, very solid. It's got your, I don't know, that's not LCD, what's it called? It's whatever it's called, you know what it's called. It's got the, it'll plot the graphs and all that kind of stuff. So for every $10 that you donate at our donate button on our website, we're going to put your name in a hat to try to win a chance on this. $10, one chance; $20, two chances; $30, three chances. And I tell you what, if you put $1,000 in there, we'll throw a couple extra tickets in there for you for free. So go to our page, w5kub.com. At the top, donate button. You'll see a picture of this. You'll see a description of it. Any donation between April 1st and Saturday midnight of Hamfest this year, we will take donations for this. And we will announce the winner of this on Sunday, approximately noon on Sunday Eastern Time. You do not have to be present to win. You don't have to be there, so don't worry. If you donate, if you win this thing, we'll call you on the phone, we'll find you, and you don't have to be there. Now, there's going to be 40 other prizes for you guys that don't donate or don't have the money, and don't donate if you don't have the money. But we've got a lot of prizes out there, so we'll be giving out prizes probably every 10 minutes during the whole show. Hambot will be giving out some prizes, and it's just going to be cool. Let me put Hambot on. Let me put Hambot on here a minute. And for you guys that have followed us, that's Hambot. It's all automated. He will pick your name from the list. He has a database of all the prizes. He knows how to award the prizes. He starts a countdown timer. You've got 1 minute to claim it. If you don't say I'm here in 1 minute, Hambot says you're not here. And you can't argue with Hambot. You know, when I used to do it myself, people would argue with me. Oh, I called you in time, and we got into these arguments. And I'm a pretty easy guy to get along with, so usually the person always won the argument. But since we put Hambot in charge of prizes, nobody can argue with Hambot anymore. So if Hambot says you didn't get in time, you didn't get in time, and he picks another person, and we go through all that again. So anyway, hey, that's kind of what we're doing, guys. We're gonna be the 40-hour marathon is going to include a 10-hour drive up and a 10-hour drive back. We'll be live streaming on the road. You can watch us get pulled over by the police like we did one year. You can watch us get gas. You can watch us do a lot of things. We'll have a camera inside the truck. We'll have the dash camera. We're going to have, guess what? We're going to have the MFJ RSS or RigPi station server. We're going to be using it as a remote control to make HF contacts from our truck. That RigPi is back here at the house, connected to a TS570 here at the house with a 80 through 6 meter off center fed antenna out in the trees. So we should have a good signal from the truck using the MFJ 1234, the RigPi, and also in addition to that, we're going to have DMR in the car, and we'll have D-Star in the truck. We'll have all that stuff running, plus the live stream, and the chat room. So you can see it's going to get quite busy in here. So Martin, talk to us a minute, Martin, about the RigPi. I think you're going to be introducing it, but we're going to be using it going up to Dayton, and I hope we get a lot of people on it.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a very interesting product for lots of hams. What it is, it's a little box, I don't know, 3.5 inches by 3 inches by 2 inches, that you can plug your transceiver into and plug internet into it or Wi-Fi to your internet, and then you can operate your station remotely from anywhere using just a web browser.
I want to show you
And
what Martin's talking about. I'm beta testing it here, and I've got the cover off because I've, over a period of beta testing and developing this product, we've made some changes and different things and upgrades and different things. But this is basically the size of it. You can see the size of the RigPi. That's how wide it is. That's how tall it is. It's pretty small, and this is just the cover.
Turn it so you can see the bottom of it. All I can see is a black screen, but turn it where you can see the bottom of it.
Yeah.
There's, if you see that long slot toward one end, that's a slot antenna for the Wi-Fi.
Oh,
So
well, I'm not holding that part up. That's the other part. That's the other part of the cabinet that the unit is in. But I'll look at that. I didn't know that. So it's a slot for the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Okay,
you
cool.
can put the cover on it. It's a completely enclosed metal cabinet, but the antenna itself is on the bottom, which is just a slot.
So are you going to be able to take some of these? I know your production is just starting, to roll these out.
No, we're going to have some at Dayton for sale.
Okay.
They're going to retail at $299.95.
Let me see where that's coming from. Pat, you got a radio on maybe?
And Howard Nurse, W6HN, who wrote all the software for it, and we'll be there to demo it.
Yeah. Oh, I got a picture of it. Here's a picture right there. That's kind of what it looks like here. Can you see that, Martin?
All I see is a black screen.
Oh, you're still getting just a black screen? Okay. Oh, well, okay, that's a picture of your MFK 1234 right there.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
When multiple people can operate your station with multiple rigs at the same time.
Yeah, and you can set up multiple accounts for all your friends to log in on it through the internet. So all you have to have is a browser and just a browser, and it's not, it doesn't have to be Droid or Windows or Linux. It can be anything, man. Anything out there that has a browser will contact this thing.
And you'll be able to do logging and rotate your antenna and switch antennas. You can completely control your entire station.
Yeah, I have complete control here, and I've tested it on ICOM radios, Kenwood, and Yaesus on all of them, and it's got a long list of radios that it supports, and you have complete control over the radio, all the digital readout, band changing, sideband selections, processors, attenuators, anything you want. And you can also customize, on the front there's some macros, and you can customize the macros to do certain functions on your radio. And like on mine here, I built a little box. Actually, I built it for a previous remote base I had. It's a little box about this size, and it's got a relay in it, and it also has it's got a 110 volt relay in it, and it also has a antenna relay in it. And I can actually, on the RigPi, on one of my macro buttons, I can hit that macro button. I can actually turn off the 12 volt power supply to the radio, and it will also disconnect and ground the antenna. And that way, if I'm gone and it's lightning or whatever, I don't have a danger of lightning coming in the radio. And also, that I don't leave the power supply on 24 hours a day, 7 days or a week. So that's just a little feature I added. It's very easy to customize and do things like that. It's got a lot of jacks and outputs on it, so it's a cool product. It's got, like Martin said, it's got logging in it. It's got a spot. Yes, you can select a number of DX spot servers. It'll give you a DX spot, and if you see somebody you like, you just click on that spot, and it will automatically take your radio to that band and that frequency and that sideband, and you're right there listening to him.
Hey Tom, are there any screenshots of what the what it looks like from the computer? Do you have any of those you could put up for us?
I don't think I have them where I can get to them right now. We've shown it before on the show, and maybe the next couple of shows I'll get some screenshots here where we can look at it and.
Patty's got a little tuning knob on it.
Yeah, in fact, I can probably pull it up right here. Let's see.
And you can operate CW or digital mode. It's got digital mode built into it.
That's nice. And I like the fact that you can do a little bit of external program. That was always, I've never run a remote base, and that's always been my fear. Sometimes when I'm at my office downtown, when I run one of the digital modes, I'll use a pro version of GoToMeeting, and I'll leave my leave my desktop up so I can get at it from work downtown. But that's always been my fear, is if something goes wrong, let's say the radio goes into transmit and it doesn't want to come out. I mean, that doesn't happen too often, but it could, that you could kill it. That's huge. So you don't put out a signal, and B, maybe damage something.
Well, look, let me show you. I'm gonna do something better and show you pictures. I brought the RigPi up here on one of my desktops. I'm gonna put it on a show. So right now you're looking at the RigPi screen right there, and you can see what it looks like. What did I do? I think I told it to reboot. I think I told it to reboot. Oh well. Anyway, let me get back. I'll have something on there better next week. But you got a glimpse of it right there before I hit the wrong button, and I did a reboot. But it's a neat little product, guys, and it replaces your computer basically in your shack. You know, if you've got a computer there where you look up call signs and stuff, or whatever, you can use the RigPi just with a keyboard and mouse on it and a monitor, and you can do all that stuff that you did with a laptop or whatever. So, I think the price is right because it's going to replace the computer. It gives you all the digital modes. It gives you remote control of your radios. It's just a cool project.
It's got email built in, spreadsheet built in, and word processor built in.
Oh, that's nice.
So we'll see how it goes, Martin. And tell you what, Martin, you're going to be at Hamvention, and if you bring some up there, grab one and come over to our booth, and we'll talk about it, and we'll show it on the show.
Okay.
And we'll show. Hopefully we'll have thousands of people tuned in, and you can show the product there, and we can show them exactly what it is.
You got one sold here.
Yeah, same here.
Was that Bill? Okay, Bill's still in there. Hey, Bill. Bill, you're gonna be at Dayton, right?
Yes, I said put me down for one of those.
Yeah, and you're gonna.
We might need to build more than we were planning to.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I hit the wrong button here. I'm trying to get Bill in the picture here. There he is. Yeah, it's a cool thing. And Bill always has a balloon launch at noon. Is that like on Saturday?
We have a balloon sat forum. It's forum room 5. It's the tent, which actually is a very popular forum when it rains out, because we're a nice nearby dry spot to run to. But we're in the tent to the left of one of the big buildings, and that'll be from 11:45 to 1:30, I think. I'll have to look it up, but it's Saturday, somewhere around noon, is the forum, and then shortly after that, we're going to do a Pico balloon race with 3 balloons. Then we'll launch that right out in the food court area. Probably Friday, but if the weather's bad, we'll do it the next day around noon on Saturday. Okay,
cool. Now, Bill, are you? You're in Huntsville. Are you going? Do you go to the Huntsville Ham Fest?
Oh yes.
Okay.
I'm always at the Huntsville Ham Fest.
Well, I just hadn't seen you walking around. Now that you're a part of us, you're gonna have to stop by and and visit there at our webcast. But we'll be there again.
Absolutely.
I'm seeing Mark there in for BCD. He's the chairman of.
BCD.
Did I get that wrong? BCD. What did I say?
N4 BCD. Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah. Yeah. He is the chairman there, and we're looking forward to that too, just as much as we're looking for Dayton. In fact, it's a little less work for us, and it's a great show to be down in Huntsville. And I know Martin, you gonna make it this year, Martin, to Huntsville?
I'm going to try.
Well, I was thinking you should come and work in our booth the whole time.
Well,
You know, you could put on a show.
I'll be working somewhere.
Well, Richard and all the guys that got everything handled over in in the MFJ area. Hey, we've got the Memphis Free Fest coming up this coming weekend here in Memphis. It's a free ham fest. No entry fee, no ticket fee. Everybody's given a ticket when they come in the door to win prizes. All the tables are free, but it's only a 6-hour ham fest. It's from like 9 to 3 on Saturday. You can come in and set up on Friday evening. So that's happening next week. We're going to be there. We'll probably take a little video and maybe talk about it on the show next week. Well, Pat, while we got Pat in here, Pat, Huntsville's probably too far for you. Do you make any local ham fest out there?
Well, we have a couple of ham fests. We have the YMU Ham Fest, which is the Utah State Convention. Actually, it's a multiple state convention. There's really only one big ham fest here in Salt Lake, and that's on actually it's past the local VHF club puts it out, and everybody gets there at about 8 in the morning, and by 11:30 everybody's out of there. So there's really not a lot out here. I know Vegas had a couple of things planned, but they had a fest a couple of years ago. They claimed they were going to compete with Dayton, and I don't think that went over too well. So there's just when I lived in I've been to Dayton 27 times when I used to live back in Chicago, and I've made the trip from here a few times. It's a little bit of a ride, but next year we'll make it for sure.
Have you made it to the new place in Xenia?
No, I have not.
It's really spread out there.
Yeah,
really spread out. Yeah. Okay. Well, guys. It's probably time to just about end the show here. We've gone an hour and a half. Just want everybody to know out there. Let's see if there's anybody new in the chat room that maybe has just joined us. Maybe this is their first time. So let us know in the chat room if you're new, a new viewer. We do have a 40-meter net on Tuesdays at 5:30 Central Time. We had quite a few check-ins this week. And let's see what else is going on here. Can't think of anything else. We'll try to do your segments, Pat, next week. At least get one of them in. I'm not sure what's scheduled for next week, but I'm sure something is kind of scheduled. But I know you got 2 different ones. Maybe we have to do one, and then we do the other one, a different week. It just depends.
Yeah, about 20 minutes for one and 5 minutes for the other, so not a big deal.
Yeah, I just want everybody to know we've got the prize page just about completed. Some prizes are still coming in. So in our top menu, we don't have a link yet to Dayton 2019, but I'll give you a little hint, a secret. If you type in up here tmedlin.com/Dayton-2019, you'll see the prize page for this year for the Dayton Hamvention. So, all right, we'll see you later, guys. Thanks, Martin and Bill, Pat, for being here.
Okay, well, it's great seeing everybody. Good to see you, Bill and Pat.
And my voice kind of held up. hopefully I'll be getting this under control here pretty soon. So
Get that soldering pencil lit up, Martin. You're going to have a lot of stuff to sell at Dayton.
I hope so. That'd be great.
all right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and close the show. So everybody just, if you guys want to stand by just a second, and it'll take me just a minute here. I'll be back.
Create your own band openings. ICOM newest SDR transceiver, the IC9700, is coming soon. This new radio is bringing direct sampling to the UHF, VHF weak signal world. The IC9700 is an all-mode transceiver loaded with innovative features such as dedicated amateur satellite operation, color touchscreen, D-Star capability built in, RF direct sampling on 2 meters and 70 centimeter bands. It has a dual independent receiver capable of full duplex operation as well as dual watch, and 100 watts max output on 2 meters, 75 watts on 70 centimeters, and 10 watts on 1.2 gigahertz. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios.
Well,
All right,
and
we're back.
so I had a magazine called Amateur Television Quarterly.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.